All right, story time. The first time I ever saw a ghost, like a full apparition. This is my first time. Actually, no, I experienced a couple weird paranormal stuff when I was younger, but I was 9 years old. I was in the fourth grade. I used to live on 50009 and a half Crenshaw Boulevard. Or was it 4009 and a half Crenshaw Boulevard? It was Crenshaw Boulevard. It was the 80s, baby. Actually, I think it was the 90s. It was like 89. Two-bedroom apartment, live with my mom. The apartment was old. I think it used to be a house, and then it was converted into a like four apartments. Our owner actually lived downstairs. So one night I wake up in the middle of the night, and hey, kitty, Harriet, my cat's playing with some plastic. Anyway, I wake up in the middle of the night. I go to the bathroom and I decide to go get something to drink. And our apartment was big, and there was like a big L-shaped hallway. So at the end of my hallway, I make a left. You could either go straight and walk through the living room and go the long way through the dining room through to the kitchen, or you just make a quick left, and it had one of those old school flopping kitchen doors. The building was old. It was definitely built in probably like the late 20s, 30s, because we had really high ceilings with that old school noir like crown molding. Beautiful apartment, by the way. So anyway, as I turn the corner, I noticed like a glow of light underneath the kitchen door, and it looked like maybe somebody had the refrigerator door open. And I was like, oh, in my head, I'm like, oh, my mom must be awake. Okay. So I open the door, I walk into the kitchen, and I turn to the right, and standing in front of the refrigerator with the door open is a tall white man. And he looked like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. And he's not looking at me. He looked like he would be doing what he would be doing if he lived there or were alive. I was stunned because I didn't know who he was. My mom was single. She wasn't dating any dudes, especially nobody that looked like Shaggy from Scooby Doo. And he turns and looks at me, and I make eye contact with this dude, and I freeze, and it felt like an eternity. And I close my eyes, I open, so I open my eyes. He's gone. The refrigerator door is closed. I'm standing there like freaked out. I run back to my room, hide under the covers, didn't sleep for the rest of the night. So the next morning, I tell my mom. She doesn't believe me. Then she gets mad at me because she was like, you were reading that book. So anybody that's ever read the African folklore book, The People Who Could Fly, it's great. It's like old stories told by slaves, kind of tall tales as well. But there's a story in there called The Hairy Man, about this scary dude that lives in the forest. And I had read that the night before. So my mom attributed that to what I saw, which I was like, okay, but that's not true. Anyway, a week later, my mom woke up and the man was standing at the foot of her bed. First apparition, first paranormal encounter. And let me tell you something, he was clear as day. He was clear as me and you. Now, I have other stories to tell, other creepy spirit stories. And let me tell you, not all spirits, ghosts, whatever, are created equal, because they all come in different shapes, sizes, apparitions, dimensions, all that. But anyway, that was my first time ever seeing an actual ghost. Scared the shit out of me. Wild experience at the same time. A weird thrill. But yeah, that was my first ghost.